My people, wonder they say shall never end. According to what we are hearing right now, they said the king angrily wanted to continue or to do the Ituwase on Ebony with immediate effect. And this is happening because the king, upon hearing that Ebony ran away from where she have gone to receive emotional treatment, because Ebony's emotion is causing her so much pain and also causing the palace so much problems that there is no peace because of what Ebony is doing in the palace. So when they suggested that emotional treatment from a lady or a woman, an old woman who is a specialist in that area, who have been helping so many people, both the past queens and people in a polygamous home like this one, they said when they recommended that person to Ebony, at first Ebony said she's not going through such because of the fact that she believed that she is okay and everything. But upon seeing that she is not okay over the way she have been reacting towards certain issues, Ebony at the end of the day agreed that she was going to go through that process. They say when that happened, the king was happy. Everyone was happy for Ebony. At least at the end of the day, Ebony will know that this is a polygamous home and things cannot work in her own way. Things can only work the way the king wants it, or maybe things will take its natural course. But Ebony wanted everything to be going according to her own direction or in a way that it will favor her. She doesn't care if it favors others or not. And that's why whenever she find out that despite everything that she have done to win the heart of the king keeps loving the jewel. As a matter of fact, the king have given his heart completely to the jewel. They said that have shattered Ebony. But with this emotional treatment is going to help Ebony to, take these things the way they are and not to force things and all of that. So everyone was happy for her upon hearing that she have decided to continue with to go for this particular treatment. But something happened. They said Ebony, who went for that treatment, started complaining that she is going through a particular incubus and succubus attack in the woman's heart and everything. Meanwhile, she is supposed to spend like 3 good days where they said there are particular kinds of herbs that the woman will pound and rub on her body and do some incantations for her, that those things will help her. Remember that this emotional treatment, from what we're hearing, is not just emotional. They said it also involves some spiritual stuff and everything. And Ebony even understand it very well. But Ebony's problem is that Ebony have gone too far in emotional problems that she have gotten herself into. So when she find out that the king have gone to Lagos to be with the jewel, they say Ebony abandoned that treatment and started going to Lekki Mansion, claiming that she have come for peace talk. Meanwhile, a lot of people said Ebony have gone there to see the king, to make sure that the king did not spend quality time with the jewel. But unfortunately, she wasn't allowed in there. And they said it was the king who also gave instruction that on no account should anyone allow Ebony enter that place. But one thing that have made the king so angry is the fact that Ebony abandoned that treatment. Because you know that if Ebony have received that treatment the way she should, at least that will bring so much peace and tranquility in the palace. That will even make the king to be in a good relationship with Ebony again. Because ever since Ebony become problematic, from what we are hearing, they said things are no longer favoring her in the palace, even to the point that close to 3 to 4 months now, they said the king have banned her from entering his chambers, and that is not good for her. Yes, in as much as the king loves the jewel so much, they said the king respects order of his wives and doesn't want to have or have any of them be in a position whereby the person will be banned from his chambers or kind of keep in a certain state in the palace. But because of Ebony's constant attitude, Ebony have landed herself in that position that the king doesn't want any of the wives to be there. Now, when the king find out that Ebony decided to go away from that place, that she's no longer going to continue with that, they said the king made inquiry to see if she is truly passing through that incubus and succubus attack. But the woman told the king that there is nothing like that, that Ebony is so jealous that the main thing that made her to leave that place was someone who called her and told her that the king have gone to be with the jewel in Lekki Mansion. That is the main reason that Ebony left that treatment, that it is not about any incubus or succubus, that there is no such force that can operate around her heart and all of that. So Ebony is not sure of what she is saying. They said that got the king so angry. And then the king decided that at this point, that he is fed up with Ebony's attitude and everything. That this little hope that Ebony have just given to them, Ebony have shattered it again. Because when Ebony accepted to go through that process, the king was happy. A lot of people were happy that, oh, maybe at the end of the day that peace will return back to the palace and everything. But now that Ebony have abandoned the treatment, they said the king said that what he must do is to make sure that he will go on with this Ituwase so that they will end it once and for all, so that Ebony will live and there will be peace in the palace, whether she likes it or not. But unfortunately, they said when information got to this woman that is doing this treatment about what the king have decided on Ebony, they said the woman said no, that the king should not do that, that Ebony has a serious problem more than the king can imagine. And the best thing for them to do for Ebony right now is to find solution to her problem. That she cannot even help herself. She doesn't know what she was doing. That she have let herself to be too jealous that she can't even control her anger. She can't even control her emotions and everything. And that is because she have went too far in making the king to fall for her, to love her, to see her as the only woman in his life, then others are secondary. But unfortunately, despite all that Ebony have done to get the heart of the king, that the king have refused to love her that much, that at this point, if they leave Ebony to herself, or if they try to kind of continue with that Ituwase, Ebony will see it as a total rejection, that she can even go ahead and buy herself, or she might end up indulging herself with all these dark powers that will cause so much problem for the kingdom. Because at this point it might not just be for the king, because the king is kind of protected by a lot of spirit and powers and everything. So if Ebony at the end of the day join force with some dark powers and everything, all in the name of fighting back for the king rejecting her, that it is going to cause so much damage, that the king should calm down, that they are going to take Ebony's case step by step, Meanwhile, remember that even before now, they said Iyanifa have also told the king that no matter what Ebony does this time, ignore her. That Iyanifa is coming. And by the time Iyanifa comes, that she will know how to go about Ebony's issue once and for all. That what will happen to Ebony? Ebony will be the one that will take herself out of that palace, that let it not be come from the king, because a lot of people will rise against the king if he decide to reject Ebony and send Ebony out like this, because even sending her out is not going to be that easy. So instead of the king involving himself in such stress and all of that, that the king should ignore Ebony, that what will send her out of that palace is going to send her out. That is what we are hearing now, if the information is true. I want to remind you that these are all alleged unverified information making rounds on social media and shouldn't be seen as fact unless we verify them. Okay, thanks for watching. Please share this video. Bye for now.